LBS.
Police chief. Welcome our listening audience, citizens of Liberia and foreign residents that are following the live broadcast via the Liberia Broadcasting System. I want to welcome friends of Liberia and Liberians in the diaspora that are following the broadcast live online. For this special press conference, we have invited the Honorable Minister of Justice and Attorney General of the Republic of Liberia, Councillor Benedict Sannoh, who will be releasing a special press statement. Before I invite the Honorable Minister Sannoh, let me take this time very quickly to introduce and congratulate with all the emphasis at my command the Honorable Minister Louis I'm making a transition. Don't worry. The Honorable Minister Len Eugene Nangwe. You all know that Minister Nangwe was nominated. He went through the confirmation process. It is now my understanding that he got confirmed. And so I'd like to welcome the Honorable Minister to his new portfolio. He will for the first time be monitoring a very difficult press conference. But I'm sure this is the work we decided to do, and the Minister is ready. He's here this morning to invite his friend, his colleague to the podium to address this special press conference. Honorable Minister Nangwe, congratulations and welcome.
Thank you very much, and this is not it, and we must perform it. Today, the Minister of Justice, Councillor Benedict Sannoh, will be issuing a press statement regarding recent situation in our country in the area of justice and rule of law. Councillor Sannoh will cover these issues, and his statement is government's current position on the happenings of the past few days. So without much ado, I would like to invite Councillor Sannoh to present a statement to the press and to the people of Liberia. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Honorable Minister. Ladies and gentlemen of the press, my fellow Liberians. Firstly, I want you to note that with me this morning is the Inspector General of Police, Honorable Christian Clarence Massacre. Over the past few days, our country has been faced with two suspicious deaths. One was the death of Mr. Dan Orugun, former Managing Director of the Guaranty Trust Bank Limited, a Nigerian by nationality, an individual well known in the banking and social corridors of Liberia. It is alleged that Mr. Dan Orugun fell off a boat while on the ride with his wife, his two children, and Mr. George Kalondo, the Liberian businessman. His body was recovered from the waters on Thursday morning, January 28, 2016, in a bad state of decomposition and brought to the John F. Kennedy Medical Center. The second was the death of Mr. Harry Greaves, former Managing Director of the Liberian Petroleum Refining Corporation, LPRC, also well known in the political and business corridors of Liberia. His body was found on the shores behind the old Budget Bureau on Sunday morning, January 31st, also in a bad state of decomposition and brought to the John F. Kennedy Medical Center. These two deaths are suspicious deaths. Under our law and practice, we are required as a government to conduct a comprehensive forensic examination with a view to ascertaining the cause of death and the circumstances surrounding these deaths, so as to bring to justice, where warranted and appropriate, those suspected of being responsible directly or indirectly. This is a sovereign responsibility, and I've come to inform you that this government has taken all the necessary steps and actions, and in a timely manner, in furtherance of the effective discharge of this responsibility. In the case of Mr. Dan Orugun, I appointed and authorized Professor John Obafunwa, a forensic pathologist from Nigeria, on Friday, January 29th, the day after the body of Dan Orugun was discovered, to conduct a comprehensive examination on the body for and on behalf of the government of Liberia, and to submit his findings to my office as soon as possible. This examination was conducted promptly on the same day, Friday, January 29th, at the John F. Kennedy Medical Center, in the presence of the Chief Medical Officer of the John F. Kennedy Medical Center, representatives from the Liberian National Police, and family members. Professor Obafunwa returned to Nigeria on Saturday, January 30th, and I expect to receive the findings and conclusions of his examination shortly. In the case of Mr. Harry Greaves, I've also concluded arrangements with Professor Obafunwa, the same pathologist who did the forensic examination on Mr. Dan Orugun, to return to Liberia to conduct the forensic examination on the body of Mr. Harry Greaves. Professor John Obafunwa is eminently qualified and has the requisite experience to conduct such a forensic examination. He is a forensic pathologist, professor of pathology, consultant pathologist, and chief medical examiner of Lagos State, Nigeria. From 2011 to 2015, he served as Vice Chancellor of Lagos State University. Dr. Obafunwa is expected to arrive in Liberia on Tuesday, February 2nd, and will be accompanied by another forensic pathologist to assist in the examination. My fellow Liberians, while the government is doing everything possible to investigate these deaths, we note with concern that some Liberians here and abroad, with gross insensitivity and callous disregard of the agony of the bereaved family during this difficult period and of the consequences on the country, have already reached conclusions as to the cause of death, especially of Mr. Harry Greaves. Let us be very clear on this. Any conclusion on the cause of death of Mr. Harry Greaves in the absence of a thorough forensic examination is at best speculative and grossly irresponsible, especially when made on the radio and posted on social media. As Minister of Justice and Attorney General of this country, I want to assure you that the death of Mr. Dan Orugun and Mr. Harry Greaves will be thoroughly investigated, and if it is determined that anyone was responsible directly or indirectly, this government will promptly charge, arrest, and prosecute any such person or persons without fear or favor. Ours is a responsible government committed to the rule of law and the protection of human rights. This government will not, under any circumstance, condone impunity. We therefore encourage all our citizens and foreign residents in our midst to desist from making conclusions on these deaths until the forensic examinations are in. Until then, any statements on the cause of death can only be characterized as misinformed and hence reckless. To the bereaved families, let me express on behalf of the government of Liberia our profound regrets for the death of your loved ones, and hereby extend our deepest sympathies. It is God who gives and it is God who takes away. We pray that in His infinite wisdom, God will give you the strength and courage to go through these difficult times. Thank you.
Three questions. We will not take more than 3 questions. We will take at most 3 questions, and the Minister of Justice will retire to his office. At this stage, we recognize the first 3 persons in the queue, and case closed. First 3 persons in the queue, case closed.
John Sharif, I work for Under Radio. I have a capsule question. Sir, are you aware of state-of-the-art equipment at major hotels to monitor the, the customers when they are there and when they leave? And secondly, how do you square in these scenarios with the annual drawdown?
I want to take that question first. That is not the subject of this press conference. At some point we'll come and address this issue.
Okay, my name is Poema Jimmy Poema. I'm the co-host of the Hard Morning Live and editor for the Guardian newspaper. So first I have 3 questions. I would like to know, kindly allow me to ask my 3 questions. Who are those collaborating with the investigators at the moment in regards to the death of the late Harry Greaves? Then 2, I would like you to tell this media as to what yardstick did he use to get to the conclusion that the Nigerian pathologist is eminently qualified to do the job that he's doing. Then my last question is, could you please tell us the whereabouts of the remains of the late Marco Allison?
Minister, we take the last question before we thank you.
My name is Eli Hamanda from LB 24. It's a consent for everybody. I want to know what is the difference in death of Mr. Allison regarding for Mr. Greaves, who have taken the full attention of everything. And 2, is it possible to stretch your hands for assistance to the American government? Because all I know, we have the pathology from in and out. Is it possible to stretch your hand for assistance for the FBI to come because I respond for the kind of situation? Thank you.
Minister, can you respond?
That's it, right? Okay. Let me take the last one. Difference between this death and that of Mr. Allison. You know, I came this morning to inform our people about the death of Harry Greaves and the managing director for GT Bank. In both of these cases, we had autopsies conducted. Harry Greaves, to correct that, the autopsy of Harry Greaves has not yet been done. So it's a little bit premature for me to speculate on the difference between his death or the manner of his death and that of Mr. Harry Greaves. I think we should all wait to get the autopsy findings, and then we can begin to go to engage in that type of conjecture. Regarding the question as to who is collaborating with the police in the investigation of the death of Harry Greaves, we can't tell you that. That's an ongoing criminal investigation, so we can't come over here and start telling you the names of those who are collaborating with us. Okay, so it's an ongoing criminal investigation. As to the question, how we got to the conclusion that the Nigerian pathologist is eminently qualified, I asked for his CV. And this guy sent me a CV that was about 40 pages. 40 pages. But it did not stop there. I sent the CV to the Chief Medical Officer of the John F. Kennedy Medical Center to review it from their own medical perspective. They know who they are. They know who the qualified doctors are. And I sent it in writing. Attached the CV to my communication and asked the Chief Medical Officer of GFK to confirm to me in writing, to review the CV and confirm to me in writing whether or not this doctor has the requisite qualifications and has the experience to conduct this type of examination. And he did write to me. I have that letter. He responded in writing and confirmed, in fact, that this guy is eminently qualified, not only in Nigeria, but within the sub-region as part of the West African College of Doctors in that regard. So it is on that basis that I designated him to perform the autopsy for and on behalf of the government. And when you read his CV, you will know that he is eminently, qualified. With respect to the last question, as to where are the remains of Mr. Allison, I may not have that information readily available with me, but if you're interested, you could make a follow-up and I can get further details on that.
That question is assistant.
Assistant?
Yeah.
Let me also say that in addition to working along with Dr. Obafumwa, we're also in contact with the Forensic School of Nebraska University. They have sent doctors here, you remember, in the Angel Toba case, and they have expressed the willingness to collaborate with the government, not only on these forensic examinations, but also with the medical school as well. So we are in close contact with them. They're supposed to be getting back to us within the next 5 hours. They have also expressed the willingness to send somebody to do the investigation. So either one of these two sources will be available. All what we are really concerned about here is for an independent investigation into this matter. That's all. They will tell you what the cause of death is. By drowning, by any external cause, autopsy reports will reveal. So that's all we are telling you. And this will not be a matter of speculation. It's not a matter of politics. I think we should all wait to get that report, and then we'll see what we will take up from there. Thank you.
We'd like to thank the Minister of Justice. Before we bring the press conference on, and let me just announce very quickly that tomorrow we have a mixture of security, brief, and health. Tomorrow, the Honorable Inspector General of the Liberian National Police will be here to address this press conference related to the internal investigation that are being carried out, leading to other police connivance or police misconduct. One of the ministers have been talking about it, they do also analysis. Will be here to give the truth of that story. And then the Minister of Health will be here tomorrow. I'd like to say again, to congratulate the Honorable Minister Eugene Nambe. Will be putting in place the formalities for turning over soon and very soon. For Wednesday. Okay, Minister Brown has just indicated that it will be Wednesday. So hopefully by Wednesday we should be putting together 11 a.m. So the whole week you are going to be basically Amica. We started with Monday, Tuesday you're here, and Wednesday, you have the new minister officially taking over with all the formalities in place. But again, I'd like to thank you very warmly for coming. I want to thank our minister. I want to congratulate you all. I look forward to the healthy weekdays of work. Thank you very much. Thank you and have an enjoyable day. Thank you. It's 11 a.m. tomorrow. Ambassador Brown. And